right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Big Data Show. I'm your host, Nate Latimer, and very excited about our guest today. We've got Mr. Scott Welton from AI Digital. They're doing some extremely exciting things, so happy to have you here, Scott. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So, Scott, give everybody just a little background on yourself. Like, you know, what got you into this field? You're a veteran, so.
I came from the geolocation space data, so mobile IDs. So everybody takes their phones with them. They don't leave their house without their phone. So if you take your phone everywhere, we pretty much know where you're at. We know where you're shopping. We know what you're doing. We do this in aggregate, not by person, of course. But it really came to some sweet technology, and learning the lessons of geolocation data really made it fun for me.
Right on. Very cool. So you're the creepy guy that like captures the device IDs as phones are going in and out of bars, restaurants, of car dealerships, and then serving ads. So that's the backstory, right? That's where you got your start.
Yeah, the exciting part is more in the commercial space, like auto. Like you said, somebody's shopping at the BMW store. We're doing ads for Porsche and Mercedes that minute that we saw you there. And we can also take that back to the household, make sure the whole family's seeing those Porsche ads.
Which, I mean, drastically helps, advertisers, convert in real time based on what's most important, which is timing, as you and I both know as big data guys. So talk to us about AI Digital. Like, what makes AI Digital different in the industry? I mean, there's a ton of people that are programmatic style companies that serve ads, and, like what sets you guys apart?
Well, one of the best things about AI Digital is basically it has everything under one roof. So that's what really drew me in. We're talking about all the DSPs, all the data partners, and we run managed campaigns with over 80% of the company hands-on keyboard. So optimizing the hell out of it. The best part about it is we don't really have vendors. We're partners with all of our customers, because if we're not successful, they're not successful, I don't get paid. And we really want Scott to get paid. So it's important that these things run properly. So we're optimizing all the time, and it's great.
Right on. Cool. So, I mean, my background in the big data world, I've certainly scoured through a lot of the DSPs. It's a very painful process. So, I mean, are you allowed to give us any inside information on like what DSPs you've partnered with and like what pain points that relieves from guys like me that don't want to deal with the ad spend process?
100%. Let me tell you about where we came from. So we're two major holding companies. We're doing video, commercials, and a bunch of stuff. And they said, hey, we want to get in the programmatic space. And so our CEO said, listen, we can go put all this together. We'll get all these partners with the DSPs. And I don't know if you've worked with any DSPs before, but they're not inexpensive. Like the trade desk is like $100,000 minimum per month spend.
Right.
So the holding companies were like, listen, we're not doing all that. You go do that. Go get all these partners. You get all that put together. Get the data partners, and we'll run all the campaigns through you, and we'll split the profits. Well, that went spectacularly, so now we've opened that up to other agencies, and it's kind of unique in the industry. So we've got seats on all the major platforms and have over 300 data providers. So we're very transparent and agnostic on everything we do, which is unique compared to an agency might have one or two DSPs at most with a 25, 50, $100,000 minimum nut they got to get every month. Well, we don't have that, so we can spread the campaigns around to wherever that particular DSP specializes in or does better at. So same with the data partners. We sprinkle in a little bit of the data from each one. Blue Kai, Oracle's product, Experian, Nielsen, all those partners. They all say that they're the best in there. Well, let's prove it when we run your specific campaign with the data from that person.
Hence the word agnostic. That's brilliant. So with you guys, what seems to really set you apart is because you truly are agnostically using a lot of different DSPs as partners. You're still kind of making them compete against each other, because you guys add like a layer of artificial intelligence on top of it, hence the name AI Digital. And how does that process work? Like, how does it just gauge and judge like which one's going to win before you start hitting the gas pedal and really throttling up the campaign and spending against the budget, so your key performance indicators end up where clients want them to be at true dollars converted, right?
Bingo. And that's the exciting part, because we've got multiple DSPs, so we're not have to go with one DSP. So we usually try a little spend on Xandr, Yahoo, Verizon, maybe DV360 or whatever, but we'll see live the campaign running, and we'll test a little bit. And what happens is we'll be able to see where we're getting the best lift from. So what DSP is actually performing the best lift, which we optimize towards. And we don't want to spend, like, maybe we just throw it all on Xandr at first. You don't know if the other ones might perform better. So with our ability to spread out that all the DSPs and test that, we can really get optimal lift. And that's really important for all of us because our whole goal together as a team is to get the best performing campaign out there. And when you have those tools at your disposal, like we do, it makes it a lot more efficient.
Interesting, man. That's so cool. So, like, I guess really everybody cares a lot about transparency. Nobody likes to be left in the dark whenever their campaign is running. You know, they spend all this money, you know, trusting a new vendor, hoping they can get a better, you know, ROAS, return on ad spend, or back into their CPCA, cost per customer acquisition. So, like, what visibility do the AI digital customers experience, and how close to real time is it, so that you really stand apart from those static report guys that everybody hates?
Yeah, no kidding. We used to give those at my old company. But yeah, what we do here is we've got a 24/7 access to a live dashboard that we give our agencies, our brands directs, and their customers. It's really tight because it'll show you exactly what your CPC is, what your CTR is, what your VCR is, what your FBI, CIA, all the acronyms. We got them all. But it basically you'll see live what's going on.
I had a VCR once.
I had a Betamax. It was tight. But so basically, we give that to full transparency. You guys, the vendors, our customers, our partners, get to see where we're buying it, how much we're buying it, and being able to afford where they want the money spent. We'll suggest, hey, it's looking better over here. Are you sure you want to do that? And give them the points along the whole way of the campaign.
All right, so let's assume that not all of the viewers viewing this understand those KPI metrics. So let's break some of them down, like some of the acronyms you just rattled off, talking over everybody's head. Let's let's just bring it down to earth so that people understand what the most important metrics are. And let's take like a video streaming campaign, like and I'll drop another acronym, OTT, over the top streaming video. Like, so just talk to us about that and what those campaigns look like and what those metrics really reveal and what they mean.
So for OTT and CTV, which is streaming everything, we will capture basically VCR, which is view completion rating. So when you're watching an ad or something, how long are they watching the whole ad? Does it go all the way through? So that's a huge metric when it comes to OTT and CTV. You don't get as much as click-through, especially on CTV, because that's your big TV in your house. But the OTT is still streaming on any device you have. So there is some click-through on that, but it's minimal compared to some of the lower funnel stuff like your programmatic display and video or social stuff. So the main thing for OTT and CTV is usually the view-through or VCR completion rating.
All right, cool. So that's what people are paying for, is to make sure people are actually watching the ads that are circulating. Are there any recommendations you have on the length of the videos for circulation and how that plays a difference in the field? Like,
brings me up to another great point. Something new that we had at, or unique, I would say, at AI Digital is we've got a strategy team. So we've brought major players over from WPP, IPG, major strategists comes over. And whenever we're doing a campaign, our strategist will come up with a media plan on how we're going to develop your KPIs. You're going to key performance indicator.
Thank you.
You're going to tell me, hey, my goal is to get X amount of views, or I'm trying to get website traffic, or I want people in my store. And what we do is we'll put a whole campaign together, a full funnel typically, which is your OTT, CTV branding, your mid-funnel, your programmatic, maybe streaming audio, and then down to your social and Google actual lower conversion. So the media plan is so solid because you're getting access to these major players that have run like Coke commercials, Nike commercials, and running those strategies. So we get access to those for our customers, and that's what really excites me because we're helping them.
Interesting. So it's like you're using proven case studies right out the gate to develop a full-on just media plan and strategy before a new client's campaign even goes live. So you got all that experience that's proven before its track record to project. I like it. That's super cool. So I'm not sure if I'm allowed to bring this up. I don't know if we might have to edit this part out, but rumored Amazon, you guys have a pretty cool play with Amazon. Like, how does that work? Can I say that or no?
Yeah. It's great. We've got one of the early seats on Amazon. So like I said, we have access to all these major DSPs. We've got them all. So any kind of programmatic campaign we can run. Really, pretty much almost any ad. But Amazon's unique in the fact that it's got the best first-party data in the world. I mean, they know when you're sick, they know when you're happy, they know when you're shopping, they know everything about you.
That's true metadata.
It's ridiculous.
Real time. True transactional behavioral access.
Somewhat creepy, but it's awesome, especially if you use it to your advantage. And it's also good for the consumer because they're sending ads based on what you really need or are looking for. But Amazon seat is fantastic because we get the DSP seat, we get the Prime, you get Twitch, you get ability to do ads on all those commercials. We're getting Thursday Night Football commercials, for example, which is huge. And they're supposed to be splitting that up into local.
What's your thought on Twitch?
I mean, it's for a little younger crowd than me. I don't know. They're doing a lot of gaming on there, but it moves the needle, and we do get a lot of people using it.
Yeah, super interesting. I got quite a few clients that have asked me a lot of questions about that environment, so I'm just curious. But
I want to tell you something super cool that a customer came to me and said. There's an agency I was trying to target to bring onto AI Digital, and he was like, listen, I tried to run an Amazon live sports commercial. We do live sports all the time. It's a huge draw. And we buy a ton of it, so we get fantastic pricing. So a lot of people say, hey, it's $80 a CPM or $100 CPM. Pump the brakes. Come to me, and I'll show you what happens. It's all great. But anyway, the customer says, listen, I want to do a Amazon live commercial. So I called up Amazon. They said, yeah, can I do it? And they said, yeah, you just got to spend $1 million with us, and you can run all the commercials you want. And the guy was like, dude, I'm not spending $1 million on this commercial. He goes, no, just you have to spend $1 million before we let you have access to that. We've already done that for everybody. So we spend that money already. So anytime any of our agencies want to get a live sports commercial, I can get you one on tomorrow.
So they walk in carte blanche because you've already neutralized the playing field.
We've what I call it a bridge or an access to all this technology.
That's brilliant.
And there's no cost involved. Our goal is we want to run these campaigns through those DSPs because that lowers our CPM and we all share in the greatness.
Okay, got it. So, I mean, that's brilliant. Getting ahead of the curve that way is amazing for anybody that's, evaluating vendors. You're already evaluating the vendors because you're all the vendors in one box. That's what's beautiful. And you're using AI to judge where to spend the money. So I guess give us a case study, man. Give us like a success story. What's your favorite, just client example? You don't have to mention their names. I know there's NDAs, but I'm just curious. Like, give us an example.
One of my favorite was a donation campaign for a recreational gym, and they have a song. So I don't know if I could say it, but anyway.
Okay. NDA protected with a 4-letter acronym.
Yeah. Anyway, it was to raise money on the holidays for this particular company, and they're a nonprofit. So they gave us their list of people they wanted to go target, and they said, hey, can you supplement and get a list of your own to go target people that donate this time of year? So they gave us their list of the previous donors that donate. Those are usually a pretty good, strong list. And we're able to target them. We've got 98% of the U.S. citizens ID'd with a digital ID, which is huge in itself. Sure. So we're able to match that and target all those particular people that were donating. But on this, we were able to use some of our own data partners, and we were able to get the geos involved, and the campaign absolutely crushed. They did about 18% more than they expected from the previous year, and it's one of those things where if we didn't supplement with our data, they wouldn't have got the same results.
Interesting. So I guess the scalability factor, the way the AI works, and then the way you guys as humans just look at oh, there's an alarm going off because it's not going up, it's going plateau, or it's dipping down. When do you guys step in as experts? Because I know you guys have a large team, right?
No, they're fantastic. How do you come up with these amazing questions? So we have...
It's a gift.
You're very good at it. So what we do is, another cool thing that we have is you get a dedicated account manager when we're working out with our team. And we'll set up weekly calls, bi-weekly calls.
All clients.
All clients, yes. Everybody's VIP.
Okay, cool. Because that drives me nuts. I'm like, right, I have to sign up for Enterprise just to talk to a human? Really?
No.
There's anything wrong with robots. I love them.
If the campaign's not successful, I'm not making money. And our team's built that way. I mean, our ad ops people, if they're not optimizing continually and making the campaign increase, it's fantastic. But anyway, so you get an account manager, and each week we'll set up a weekly call or a bi-weekly call, whatever your customer wants, and we're going to go through the dashboard and reporting on where the campaign is. And we'll say, hey, your creative 2 is not showing jack. Let's not throw that anymore. We need to place that out. Or the campaign's been running for 4 weeks and now we're getting diminishing returns. We got to tighten this up or change some tactics. Or it's running fantastic and we're keeping increasing. But the best thing about that is we're very transparent on where it is, what's happening, and we're fully on top of being proactive on any of our changes. And like I said, we've got a boatload of experienced people behind there that are giving us these anecdotes and suggestions.
Which is huge, especially like for, some, let's just take startup companies as an example. They're learning so much so fast. They're wearing so many different hats, and like just having like, a fulfillment team and a strategy team in your corner to take that weight off of you and just handle all that is huge. So, how much does it cost? I'm kidding.
100,000 cash, but we'll do smaller ones too. No, it's
duffel bag, right?
We basically our pricing structure is based on a CPM, and everybody says, well, it must be outrageous. Well, because we're buying so great, we're usually 25% below market average on almost all of our programmatic.
So you're already buffering in at a lower rate because you're really neutralizing the playing field.
Yeah. So most, like for example, OTT and CTV prices are in the 35 to 65 range, and we're in the 30 or sub, fairly aggressively on premium channels. Which people are like, how?
Plus, and like it's also great to know that you're working with an actual source that's truly doing that work and applying cutting edge AI boom technology to it to throttle against that budget. The reason for that is you don't want a reseller on a reseller on a reseller, and then like ends up you're just paying way too much and it's not making any sense.
Most agencies do that. They work with somebody steps on it here, steps on it here, steps on it there, and before you know it, you're at $45 a CPM on something that you could get for 27 and be done and make more money and be more effective.
And I love it, Scott. So, Scott, like, if people want to get a hold of you, which I assume everybody's going to want to.
Why not? I'm fun.
Scott Welton, everybody. Thank you for being on the show. How would anybody reach you? We'll drop a link as well, but...
Easiest way is my email, scott.welton, W-E-L-T, as in Tom, O-N, at aidigital.io. That's the tricky one. The first few months, I was getting .coms all over the place. But scott.welton at aidigital.io.
So scott.welton at aidigital.io, everybody. Thanks so much, Scott. I appreciate you being here.
Appreciate it. It's been a great time. Thanks a lot, Nate.
You got it.